Yo, guys, it's your boy the Purist, and we're here to talk boxing. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And say that from the jump. We've got a big episode today. Jordan joining us there. Hopefully he stays. We've got the whole cast here today. We've got Harry, we've got Don Kuzan, we've got Jordan Dujon for now. We've got Mickey Amu back with us, and we've got Princess. All right, Devin Haney absolutely schools George Kambosos Jr. to become the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. Couple of us, not going to mention any names, had a feeling that Kambosos could win. And then Harry told us about the Lee Selby fight, and then we all thought, no way. And pretty much, I actually did watch that fight before on the weekend, and then I realized, Haney was going to do him. But I'll start with Princess today because she's had the most energy. What was your thoughts on the fight?
Listen, guys, Haney did exactly what I told him to do. He came out, he stopped the show, he schooled Kambosos and really showed us why you guys should have listened to me last week. So I'm really proud. His dad managed to come. I'm happy for him. That wasn't going to be nice. He's amazing. I'm really pleased. I just need you lot to run me my money.
I think Jordan knows your money, but he don't look ready to answer anything.
Yeah, Jordan definitely.
Yeah, so Mickey, we didn't get your views last week. What did you think of the fight, and how did it change from your expectations?
To be honest, I feel like I was obviously taking nothing away from Haney. I was more shocked in the lack of hard to say lack of efforts from Kambosos, because he obviously tried, but he didn't adapt enough for me for that level. 4 belts on the line. I mean, that's the top of the top. I feel like. We all knew Haney's strengths was to keep it long, keep it rangy, and box, and that was the best way for Haney to go in there and win. And I feel like Kambosos didn't bring anything to the table to make that difficult for him. And obviously at that level, I expected a little bit more from Kambosos. I thought he would have had a bit more adaptability or a better game plan going into that fight. But it looked like, I don't know, maybe he just either he expected it to be similar to the T.O. fight, or it just showed that his limitations were based at that. His ability was limited to that level that he boxed at, you know what I mean?
No, 100%. Harry, what do you think of it?
I think Kambosos turned up for a fight and Haney turned up to box. And like Mickey said, he didn't really, Kambosos didn't adapt. So he was just eating the jab, but he didn't try and implement his jab at all. He just kept trying to hook in or hook to the body, or when he should have maybe stepped back, tried to make Haney walk into him a bit and jabbed with him, or just jabbed him. Well, there's loads of things he could have done more, but yeah, he got schooled basically.
Kuzan, go on. What's your thoughts?
So basically, Kambosos, man, he tried. I really think that he thought that. First of all, I just want to say shout out to the art from Kambosos. The art of deception worked very well for him in this fight, as in he didn't. he really liked that. I really think he thought like the Theo fight. I really thought he thought that he was in Devin's head, and he was going to make him probably act irregular or something. That was not the case. Devin's jab was on get back. That's what we calling that, the get back mode jab. Mm-hmm. That jab was on get back mode, because every time he touched Kambosos with that, he told him get back. He was trying to get into his rhythm. He got hit with the get back jab, and he was like, oh, whoa, I got to restart. I got to recenter myself. It was a great performance from Haney. From a boxing standpoint, I know people who just casually watch boxing and stuff, they really looking at the intricacies of the fight. But for me, that was beautiful. It was almost Floyd Mayweather-esque in a sense, because he was tapping him up. You know what I'm saying? It was beautiful, man. I loved it, and I called it too. So you know what I'm saying. But yeah, that's how I felt it.
Me myself, I gave my thoughts right after the fight on YouTube. Little plug, watch the previous video, and pretty much the main thing for me, wanted to find out from you guys is, obviously they always say don't hook with a hooker, but if someone's pumping out a million jabs at you, if you jab with him, there's a slight chance you might land one, or he's gonna think twice before he does it again. Or at least anything like that. Why did Kambosos make absolutely zero adjustments? The only thing he adjusted was, I think he threw, instead of 2-punch combos, he threw 3 punches late in the fight. What do you think it was that made him not able to adjust anything during the fight?
It was just Devin's timing. Devin's timing was just too sharp. First of all, I'd like to publicly apologize to everyone because I thought Kambosos had a chance in it. Just like, honestly, like.
But you and me both.
Wait. That's his way of not paying Princess her money, isn't it?
What's going on here?
No, at least like, congrats to Devin, man. He just kept it simple the whole night. He didn't really have to get out of second gear either. Pumping a jab. To be honest, I was quite shocked. I just don't understand at the elite level, guys can't jab. Like literally, it's just like it's madness. It's madness.
For me personally, I feel like the shock comes from, I feel like Kambosos' game plan against Tio was spot on, and I feel like obviously in one way of looking at it is maybe, like I said, that was he's limited to that way of boxing, but that way of boxing worked so good in that fight that maybe everyone started thinking that he was better than what he was. Again, taking nothing away from Haney, but it's like we knew Haney's strengths going into that fight. And the way that Kambosos approached it just allowed Haney to do exactly what he needed to do to get the job done. There was nothing, like you said, the only adaptations he made was to throw a few more punches. There wasn't any adaptations in style and the way he went about his performance or the way he tried to get close. But for me, against that style of what Haney brings to the table, you either need to be a lot bigger and stronger than him and just overwhelm him, walk him down and overwhelm him, or be a lot smarter with your timing, your angles, loads of fakes, and bring him onto your shots or offset him and land shots when he's not ready or he's not comfortable. And Kambosos didn't do either. And I think again the shot comes from the fact that how good the game plan was against Tio. And it says that I feel like a lot of people just expecting more. Like Jordan said, Haney didn't have to get out of second gear. He take nothing away from me, done exactly what he needed to do. But there was nothing in front of him to make him to show what if he had any more, if he needed to go for any more gears or if he had any more levels to him.
One thing I will say as well, actually, just to add on what Mikey said, is that I feel like a lot of people sort of criticize Haney for just being like a boring boxer. And I feel like, especially when you don't watch him that much, I'm a Haney fan, but especially when you don't watch him as much, you feel like he underperformed. But he did, just like Mike said, exactly what he needed to do. He didn't need to overexert himself because Kambosos just wasn't putting in enough work. And personally, I think Kambosos' corner really underestimated Haney and what he brings just with his actual skill set. I think they personally were expecting something completely different to what he brought to the table. And I don't know why, because he did what he always does.
Yeah, I agree. Because AB, you said you talked about Kambosos was saying that like he wasn't worried about Devin's speed, basically, like, or that he was as fast, or if not, you know what I mean. And as you can see, man, the speed, it was the levels, man. He couldn't touch him, man. He's throwing that same hook inside. My man Devin is slipping that. Like Devin was able to negate that side. The pressure fighting was great because I know people was worried about that. You know what I mean? And I honestly thought he was gonna go about it a different way. I didn't even think, but yeah, I definitely feel like Kambosos is underestimated. I think he was just riding the wave of I'm known as the underdog. These last two fights, you know, I'm about to do it again. They keep counting me. I'm about to do it again. But it's like you really got to look at it, man. Break down this. This man, the way he's fighting, like. So, my Wi-Fi's cutting out. I'm about to switch. Yeah, go ahead and do it. Keep going. But yeah, he told me my Wi-Fi cutting out.
Yeah, you're still there. You're still with us. But yeah, I agree. I agree everything what you said. He just jumped the hype of like him thinking he's the underdog and he's gonna come in and shock the world, and the fact that Haney had to go to Australia and everything was against everything that was riding on the line. But obviously that is a credit to Haney that at such a young age he went there, done what he had to do, and stuck to the perfect game plan. Didn't need to take a risk, didn't need to exchange, just done exactly what he needed to do. And obviously that's credit to himself, especially at that age. He done what he had to do, especially with what was on the line, because it would have been easy to lose your head and get caught out and try something audacious, but he done exactly what was needed.
And that's why I gotta give props to Devin again, because it's like, bro, you not only did you went to this man's hometown, you know, you went to his home. You had no
big stadium matchup.
Yo, and you hear the build up before it, you know, everyone, because it's a pro Kambosos crowd, you know, yelling rat at him, yelling all this stuff, rat, you're a rat, like all of that pressure. And the kid's young, he younger than me, you know what I'm saying?
23.
Bashed in all of it. Bashing all of it.
What-
No
what I
email
didn't
chat
know-
no more.
What I didn't know about Haney is that he turned pro in Mexico before
Yep.
he was old enough to
Yeah,
turn pro in
he was a
America.
club fighter.
When I
in
heard
Mexico.
Yeah, when you hear that about a fighter, that shows that he took this game very serious. He weren't just there because he was there because his family wanted him to be there or someone told him he's a good boxer. He knew in his head what he wanted to do. He had the mindset from a young age, and he's obviously had this. His sights set on what he went out and achieved in that fight.
And I'd like to say he wasn't sure right up until the end that his dad was going to make it. So that was a big deal because that was the only thing that I was concerned about.
Yeah, and that's another thing. There's a couple things that there was a lot against him, and he persevered through that. So it was remarkable and a dominating performance. But we already knew that, man. Come on.
Well, we did.
Yeah, we knew that, man. That's what I'm saying.
No, I didn't.
You didn't? Hey, man.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
At least you can admit it. You weren't here last week when they were like, nah.
But that's why I started it with saying that I'm just as much disappointed, if not more disappointed, in Kambosos than I am in appreciating Devin Haney. Take nothing away from him. Like I just said, 23 years, he's done what he had to do. But Kambosos, the fact he's been around for how long he's been around, he's had all these away fights. He's been sparring partner of Manny Pacquiao. You think he would have been a bit more well prepared for that fight, but. Credit to Haney's team and training and his whole team and everyone as well.
I think for me, talking of disappointment, I mean, the person who should be disappointed in themselves the most coming out of this weekend is Teofimo Lopez. Because if you look at the way he fought Kambosos, it's almost not the same fight, but the similar sort of thing happened, and there was no adaptation, no adjustment, it was almost like Teofimo came in to blow out Kambosos.
And it all played into his hands, didn't it?
Yeah, and then Devin Haney's come over to box Kambosos, and Kambosos hasn't adjusted to that, and it's sort of like. But then I think Haney showed that grade that he had over Kambosos, and I think we might have given Kambosos a bit too much credit for beating Lopez.
I feel like that's what a good question is. What level do we really now? We've not seen Kambosos at his best, and at a fight that he didn't really look good. What level is he really at? Because, like you just said, the Teo fight made Kambosos look elite.
Well, I said last week that he's the best lightweight in the world, or was at the time, because I was like, he went out and beat the man. He took the belt. That's the Ring magazine represents the lineal belt. So you got to kind of give that credit where it's due, which I'm now giving to sort of Haney. I want to see Haney fight Lomachenko next, but at the same time, I'm trying to then work out where Kambosos fits into things. Like what does he do next? I know he's called him for a rematch, but
he won't get the rematch.
It's in the contract, isn't it? It's a contractual obligation.
That's the only problem. Yeah, it's gonna happen, but nobody wants to see that.
But who's the contract with? Because surely, if they're both with Top Rank, surely
they're not both with Top Rank. Devin Haney is with Top Rank.
Surely, if he's in control of that contract.
No, with Devin Haney with Top Rank, he's got a 3-fight contract, and obviously they knew about the rematch clause. So if he won, he does a rematch, and then he does the last one with either Teo or Lomachenko or whoever Top Rank decide.
But what I'm saying is the fact that Bob Arum is such a
So the issue is, Mickey, is that Kambosos isn't signed to Top. This is how complicated it is. Kambosos isn't signed to Top Rank. He's signed to Dubella. So as part of, to Lou DiBella. So DiBella's organised the fight through Top Rank, and I think Bob Arum's seen Devin Haney there, seen the chance to A, get, a star, and B, get one over on Eddie Hearn. So he signed him up to a multi-fight deal. This is what Devin Haney had to give away. He had to give away his promoter, pretty much give away his team, give away the home advantage, give away everything to go into a champion's backyard. To then.
If I was Bob Arum, I would be saying, however you need to manage it, because that fight, obviously, I understand it's contracted, it doesn't sell, and the fact that Bob Arum has Lomachenko, he has. Does he still have Teo? I don't know if he has.
Arum's come out and said this already. It's Lou DiBella is sort of the one who can, Kambosos / DiBella that can sort of decide. I think.
Yeah, but then what I would do, because they need to know based on that limitations. So maybe you can offer Lou DiBella, say, a 2-fight deal with Kambosos to step aside first of all and fight someone for him to have a comeback fight, look good against in his hometown, and then say the winner of Haney versus Lomachenko or someone like that. maybe this is wishful thinking because based on that performance, we just don't want to see that. For me, I don't want to see that fight again. It's a waste of time, innit?
This is the problem with boxing and the problem with rematch clauses, right? Like, I don't believe you should have rematch clauses. If the fight is good enough, it will justify a rematch because the fans would demand it.
But even with a rematch clause, I see someone saying that it should be based on performance.
Facts.
Well, that's exactly it. How people perform, how the fight goes, should dictate whether or not it's a rematch. Because the fans should say, "I want to see that again. We will pay to see that again." That's sort of how you can take a regular sort of, I don't know, say Sky Sports show and turn it into pay-per-view. That's how you can take a ESPN show and turn it into paper. Do you know what I mean? Or DAZN show, turn it into whatever.
Yeah.
But quick question: Does anyone actually think Kambosos can do anything in a rematch?
No.
You can get knocked out.
I feel like. Go on, Harry.
No, I said he can get knocked out.
I feel like, listen, take nothing away from the man for him to get to that level. I feel like he can do better because he couldn't do no worse, basically, innit? In my eyes, he could do better. Whether it's going to be worthwhile is a different story. But he has to have it in him to get to that level. He has to be good enough to go back to the gym, make certain adaptations, know what needs to be made, and maybe have a better go at it. But whether it's worthwhile, I think personally, if I was like in control of boxing, he would have to go and show that against another fighter before he got the right to fight Haney again, innit?
No, but even as a coach, I've just seen my guy get pinged off his head with a jab for 12 rounds. There's no way when he tells me he wants a rematch, I'm gonna sit down with him and say, "Yeah, let's go." I'm gonna tell him, "Do you want the rematch?
But don't forget,
money, or do you think we're gonna win?"
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Because money talks, and 10% of whatever he earned in that fight is some good money. So these coaches, boy. It's easy to say from a pure boxing point of view, innit? But money talks, man. And 10% of a good couple mil, I'm sure that promoter's licking his lips. Trainer, sorry.
I feel like if he had a rematch with Teofimo, I actually feel like he'd lose. I feel like I do. And I also feel like Kambosos put himself in a predicament where we feel like he underperformed because he was going on and on about the fact that he was this underdog and he's had to work so much harder than Haney, which I feel like that's subjective. But at the end of the day, he basically put himself on a pedestal up here. Like, I can perform, I've got the experience, I've done way more than you to get here. And then he came into the ring and was just like, I don't know how to deal with someone with a good jab. And it's like, your last fight for me personally, I don't even think you and Teofimo were on the same level. Like, I just think Teofimo didn't have as much experience and just wasn't mentally ready for someone like Kambosos with his style.
He come in there with the wrong attitude, didn't he? He thought,
he just couldn't adapt at the time. There was so much pressure. But
that was Kambosos' fight.
Mentally. You know, boxing is mental too. It's not just all physical. It's mental too. You know what I'm saying? He baited him. I just think Teo just had a worse night. I honestly just think he just had a bad night. I think they run that back again. He's gonna beat him. You know what I mean? But I agree with you. I agree with you, Princess, because like he was reveling in it, man. And I don't blame him because think about it. He has every reason to be happy, to revel in it. He was uncounted out. He won. He was the man. He had the belts, all of that. But he was reveling in it. In the press conferences, he was reveling in it. He was reveling in being home. He was drinking that shit in, man. He you know, all that talk about I'm an emperor, what's a king to our emperor? But I'm telling you, he was sitting at the press conferences like he was the Don, like he was Corleone, man.
See how you said earlier on how he was trying to get into Haney's head.
Yeah.
And after the weigh-in, you could see he got into his own head. When he started waffling about Art of War, and it's like he felt like he needed to keep that whole roll up. He would have got more respect for just saying, you know what, we fucked up, we misjudged it. By
exactly, bro. That actually made me mad when he said that, because it's like, dude, no, you ain't no order deception. You just missed weight, bro. Like, if
you watch it when he first says it, he says it like to say maybe I done it on purpose, as a little, just a slight remark.
Right.
But then it's the fact that he kept on, he carried on in about 3 or 4 interviews saying that the art of war, man, deception, man. You made him realize, how
are you deceiving somebody by telling people that you're deceiving them? Like,
that's what I'm saying, bro. He was just drinking Kool-Aid, bro.
Like, I tried to work it out. I was sat there watching it, and I'm like, all right. So he's coming overweight, and then he's got to made the weight, and then he's gone to international media, and he's told them that it was all one big deception. But I was like, what's the deception? I don't understand, because you didn't make weight, and then you made weight. Where have I been deceived at this point? Or where, if I was like, where has Haney been deceived? Like,
Let's
what was
be
the
honest, he
perception?
knew he was going to lose, so he just had to make the pre-fight really exciting and just say all his bits now. He's not going to have another shot.
I
like
think
that.
he thought he
That's all
was
it
going to win. I really think he was just
Yeah.
really overconfident. Like
I
I
think
think he was going to get in his head again, like he got in the deal. But this man, Devin he a different breed, man. He's really dedicated.
100%, and there's levels to
Dedicated.
boxing. There's levels
Yeah.
to boxing, and Kambosos is limited in his ability.
Yeah,
I think
Factory.
for me, if you look at the build-up to the Teofimo fight, Kambosos fight, I said it last week as well. Like Kambosos turned around to Teofimo and said, "Those belts are cursed." He's like, "Before you had those belts, you were humble, you were driven, you were focused, you didn't believe your own bullshit." And then it sort of he became like a mini Teofimo, and I think sort of in terms of the ego, the arrogance, I don't know how he'll be coming off the loss and going as a conspiracy theorist and going as sort of rogue as Tio's gone, because he's come out with some weird shit. But
Yeah,
you know, I kind of hope that he takes the loss well. He sort of goes back to the drawing board. I'd like to see him fight someone like Rolly Romero next, and kind of rebuild from there. Hopefully, see him get a shot in the future.
Can I just say, shout out Jordan, yeah, because if Kambosos shit showed the same effort as Jordan showing trying to get in his podcast, he might have been out in the fight.
No, do you know what it is? he is Kambosos. He just keeps running into the jab. He won't change the hotspot. He won't get better. the same device, the same thing. He just keeps logging back in.
No adaptability.
this is just like last week.
Anyway, yeah, poor Jordan.
All right, guys, everyone watching, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There's a lot of you here watching right now. Hit the like button. There's not enough likes. Run it up. Help support the channel. Yeah, is there any other topics you want to touch on with this fight? You'll talk about who they should fight next. We sort of touched on that already. It's up to you guys.
Boy, what do you think is the most exciting fight for Haney right now in that division?
Gervonta Davis.
Tank. Yeah, I was about to say Tank. Ooh.
That one gives me chills, you know.
As much as people don't like or think he's up there, Tank versus anyone top at that weight would be the biggest fight at that weight.
Yeah.
Tank versus Loma, Tank versus Devin, Tank
Do
versus
you
Ryan.
not think that because of the height and reach advantage and the composure and the maturity that Haney showed, if he sticks to that game plan, it would cause all of them problems.
Yeah, 100% cause them problems, but not necessarily win. I thought you were going to say win, didn't it? You came with so much chest and it's like cause problems. Like,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Cause problems, but we ain't seen. I'm saying cause problems. We ain't seen Tank have to overcome that sort of level of problem yet. We ain't seen. I think Loma's the only other one, and Tio because of the Loma fight that have been in with that level of competition. It's all right talking about Tank's ability against fucking Rolly and these man here, but he showed his boxing is elite. The jab and the timing and the movement is elite. Are you saying that Tank was going to overcome that? Are you confident Tank would overcome that?
I am, because Tank's elite. You know what I'm saying? Tank is elite in his own right, and Tank always has to fight at a disadvantage in majority of his fights. You know what I mean? Similar to like Canelo in terms of what are we basing Tank's eliteness on right now? Rolly Romero.
listen,
I see
don't
what
act
you're
like
saying.
Pedraza was a bum, man. Don't act like Pedraza was a bum.
Pedraza-
Ariel was a lot bigger than him. He's fought big guys all the time, bro. It's not. Like, I'm not saying he's fought the best competition, but he's not fighting bums at the same time.
That's
Okay.
facts. Yeah.
I think I want to see.
I see where you were going though.
I want to see Haney fight Lomachenko, and I think
That's the fight I want.
this is where I said like Gervonta should fight Garcia next, because I'm sort of like you, Mickey. I like Davis. I'm not a hater, but I still want him to see. I want to see him pushed a bit more. I want to see him tested.
And for it to be for all the belts, I know the way they've gone around, it's kind of like it's people getting opportunities and grabbing them. But for it to be for all the belts, I would like to see it to be two proven fighters. Even though Haney's only proven it against Kambosos, who we're now saying is actually not an elite fighter, he's limited. He still has all the belts. So I think Loma is the most deserved out of them lightweights. And then I would like to see even either Tank versus Ryan Garcia or Tank versus Tio Lopez. And let the winner of that fight, the winner of the Lomachenko and...
But the thing is, Lomachenko should get a chance next, I think, morally anyway, because it was meant to be him versus Kambosos in this fight.
But why?
Because it was meant to be Loma versus Kambosos originally.
But why?
No, AB came to the mic, you know.
No, but why? Like, why was it? Why?
Because the Ukraine war. That fight was signed. It was meant
But why?
to be. Well, because Lomachenko was the best contender there for Kambosos.
But Haney had the belt, so why was it Loma?
Did Loma have all the belts? He had all the belts, innit?
Most
No,
of them.
well, Loma had the. It was the. This is where the WBC franchise thing went on.
franchise.
You know what it is?
Yeah, so it kind of had all the belts, but it wasn't all the belts. and
Loma,
then-
out of the lightweight belts and these fighters we're talking about, Loma's won and defended them the most times. Is that correct?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Facts.
But if you'd have said
Yeah,
because he
you
beat
back
Richard
me up
Comey,
probably
then
there.
fair enough. But he just walks up and said, "I want to fight for the belts," and they said, "Yeah, go on, bro."
No, but that's how everyone was
Dominated
doing
Richard
fights.
Comey. Don't just say he beat him because he heard that boy. But go ahead.
Nah, but I see what people mean about Loma. We can't just say he should just get the fight. Obviously, I get
Nah,
how good
yeah,
he
yeah.
is, but there's other people.
I hear what
around
you're
as well.
saying. I hear what you're saying. I just think out of the fighters, I think he's the one just fought the most top fighters up at that weight. He's saying that though, he lost to Tio, so obviously it's easy to argue. But for me personally, that's the fight I would like to see next: Haney versus Lomachenko, and I would like Tank to fight another one of the so-called top 4, top 5, and then let the winner out of that fight come through and fight the winner of Loma.
Exactly.
And
I'm more interested in seeing Tank fight Lopez than Garcia.
But Lopez is moving up.
But
Lopez
yeah,
is moving to
exactly.
140.
Lopez going to 140. So
I think Garcia has the least right to the claim for them fights, but I do think with his style, he brings it exciting. He brings an exciting fight, whatever happens. I think he's got exciting potential. He hasn't proven it at a top level, but he's got that power, that snap power. He's got rangy, you know. He's got a style to call all of them.
Hold up.
We know he can get
I knew
hit.
you were about to say something.
This is you going from saying it's Tank all that to gassing up Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
Is that what's going on right now?
I'm saying stylistically, he deserves to be in the mix. For me, Tank smokes him, innit? But he deserves to be in the mix with. But based on their opposition and their fights they've had, obviously Tank's in front of him. But before Tank gets the fight for all them belts, I would like to see him come through one of these other up and comers.
Okay.
No, I heard that.
Tank and Ryan's just a lot of money. That's all I hear.
I still feel like that doesn't help. You know, earlier you were saying like about his claim, like what are we basing Tank's eliteness off of? Don't go fight Ryan Garcia then, because we already know he gonna beat him, right? We already agree.
Yeah, all right.
So they don't help his
yeah.
eliteness claim. That's what I'm saying. That's why I put him in the mix to fight Haney. You don't think he elite? He gonna show you elite, just like Haney had to
We all say
in his fight. You know?
obviously we all agree on the way he beats Garcia, but I like to see the way he goes about beating him.
But I just feel like that doesn't help his claim of being elite. Like that's true. I would like to see it too for a different reason, just to shut Ryan up, just because he's been asking for it for so much, and I just want to see him. I just want him to get that clarity that you
In a meeting.
I honestly think it will help him. I think it will help his career. Honestly, if he gets over this, if he handles it the right way, you know what I'm saying? I think it will help his career. Everybody know that young dude always like, man, I'm the man. I don't care. You know, I'm the man. That's kind of in the sport. So
He does have some sort of background in boxing, though.
What'd you say?
He does have some sort of background in boxing, though. I think in amateurs he fought Haney.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. He did Garcia.
So he's not as far off as people think. It's
He was
just
a
that
Golden Glove champion.
he's gone
wasn't
with a different career and then
I think they
reverted
fought like
back.
6 times, 3 each.
So what are we saying on the outcome of a Haney and Tank fight then?
I'll just cry. I'd rather cry than answer. You lot are evil. You're laughing at me. This is pain.
Who's winning that? I don't know if I can give a definitive answer right now.
See, look.
Tank lick.
You saying Tank?
You said Tank?
Tank 9-12 KO.
Whoa. Tank knocking him. Oh, well, yeah, he is, you know. Devin is chinny, so.
I feel like Devin will get to Tank so bad that Tank will just get really angry, lose all composure, and then knock him out. That's where my head's at.
But
You know when he gets
Devin's
touched
game
properly
plan is
with like a clean shot, you see him lose composure, lose his brain, and then that's when you see this unfocused Tank. But it actually works. Like he still ends up with a knockout some way, you know. But Devin Haney is slick, so I don't know if Tank's going to be able to touch him on that level with that kind of shot that he needs to take him down. And I just can't. Let's not talk about this one.
Davis
Yeah, that was hard, dude.
I think Haney's too big for Davis. I think he's just a bit too tall. The way if he boxes like he did against Kambosos, he'll be able to keep Tank off, and Tank won't be able to land.
Tank's not eating a jab to his face all day like that. There's no way.
No, I'm not gonna say it's the same sort of fight, but it will be something of that style of fighting of keeping him at distance because Haney can go up the weights from there. I don't see Tank being able to go up the weights.
And even though Tank won't be eating that jab, he will still have to close the gap. And for me, what he showed in that Kambosos fight is he's not gonna overreach, overexert himself, and put himself at risk. Especially if he can do it against Kambosos, who realistically ain't a dangerous puncher like that. If he knows he's in there with a dangerous puncher, there's no way he's gonna make the mistake of falling in. And
I have a question. Who do you guys think's hands are faster out of Tank and Haney?
That's what I had to say as well. I think he's never fought someone fast like Tank as well. I don't know who's faster actually, but
straight shots, Haney, innit? Straight 1-2 down the pipe, straight jab and straight 1-2 Haney. But obviously all the other shots and the awkward angle shots, them hooks and uppers and them like off balance shots, you slip and pull out a hook out of nowhere. Got to give that to Tank.
Yeah, because really the distance is going to matter less and less if he's a lot quicker. And if he's really on the side.
Haney can time him. If Haney can time Tank, then it's only if it's a wild like shot that comes in. Frustration. But if Tank's getting frustrated, it means that it'll be playing into Devin Haney's game plan. The fight will be going the way Devin wants it. So that's where I sort of lean more towards Devin in that instance.
I can't even.
And I think one of my thought processes about Devin Haney after this fight was even look, we get the comparisons to Mayweather. Yeah, what people like to forget is Mayweather, the age that Haney was at, was a spiteful motherfucker until he got to them weights where he was fighting big dons and he just thought, I'm older, I'm saving my money, I ain't taking these risks. When he was them ages, he was spiteful. Now I would like to see if Haney he's gonna gain a bit of more spite, which will be exciting for the fans, or is he just gonna be content with that style of, you know what, I'm happy to go 12 rounds and come out here and get the job done. And that's where I think causes the most problems for his oppositions, where it might not work. It takes away from the excitement of the fights. But obviously, in terms of hit and don't be hit, jab and move, stick and move, if he's content in doing that, I think it makes him a much harder fighter to come up against.
So far, no one's been able to pick between.
I agree. Yeah, nah, man. Because every time y'all say something, I'm like, damn, that's kind of true though. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I'm on. It's difficult, man. It's a hard thing to pick. I don't know. I think it will definitely depend.
For me, the fact that Haney's gone in and fought Kambosos the way he did, it set the bar higher than it has been for a long time for these guys to go out and get these big fights now. So I think the main thing is all these other fighters follow suit. Obviously, we know Lopez. I believe Lopez will jump in with all of them. Tank, hopefully, the fact he's talking about now leaving Mayweather and going his own way means he wants them big fights. Hopefully, there's no more blocking stones and we don't have a situation where these fighters are dragging it out and they're all willing to get in with each other. Because I think the only way we're all admitting that Tank is up there, Haney's up there, we know Loma's up there, T.O., we have to say he's up there for what he's done. They all did. The only way I think you're gonna find out about each other, and the only way they're gonna find out about each other is by getting in there. And as I've always said, this makes them better fighters. They will become better fighters for fighting the best fighters in their divisions.
Yeah, for sure.
That's true, but I don't think Tio should be in the conversation. He's a 140 fighter now. I don't see him going back down to 135 pounds. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, based on weight, not on achievements though.
Yeah, but I think Tio's moved up. He's gone up. He's really trying to sort out his next fight at new weight, new division, sort of leave that behind. So it should be sort of be now like Tank, Haney, Loma. I guess Garcia, because he's in the conversation, should be doing that sort of like round robin now.
So then back to, for me, based on achievements so far, I think Loma is next up in deserving the fight. But obviously, we're all agreeing that Haney, Tank, Loma, and Haney, obviously, or all that. That's the top three right now.
Yeah,
I think so. I really want to see Tank versus Loma. That's really what I want to see. Then I'd be happy.
I don't want to see that because that's the only person I'd pick to beat Tank, so I don't want to see that.
Right, same. And I want to see if he can do it.
Would you?
Huh?
That's what
she said, lad. Yeah, I reckon Loma's the only one I'd say will beat Tank.
Right, just a quick update. I got to dip out of here in a couple minutes.
Thank you for letting us know.
I was debating doing the Jordan and just locking off and blaming it on the Wi-Fi, but I thought,
No, Jordan's phone switched off at this point. It's not coming back on.
Give up. Respect though.
To be fair, we're done with that one for now. We got one more topic in Inoue versus Donaire. You wanna be here for that one, or you can just leave now?
yeah, nah, Dip, I'll leave you lot to that one to crack on. But obviously, it's been a pleasure as always.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us today.
That's one, mate.
I look forward to the next one. Catch you lot soon. Peace
Yeah.
out.
Let's go.
Peace. Damn, that shit got close.
Oh, I thought it was Jordan coming back, you know?
Nah, Jordan's not coming back. I told you last week we got Kevin Pagani here again replacing Jordan.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing,
Hello
man?
again.
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're
Good.
good. Thank you. Thank you for
Well,
joining
give us-
us.
Thank you.
Give us your thoughts on the fight
Um,
last week.
For which one? I'm sorry.
Kambosos versus Haney.
Oh, well, first, when I was watching that fight, honestly, like, I'll be honest, I was rooting for Kambosos, of course.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I mean, so like, how to explain it? Like, so like, I didn't expect. I had a feeling it was gonna go to decision. I didn't expect no knockouts at all, but I did not expect Haney to win. Like, yes, there were times in the fight that Haney did school Kambosos. Yes, there were times, and there were times where he did get him good with many punches. But like, the amount of grabs that he kept doing on Kambosos was just out of this world. And then not only that, but to me, it looked like Kambosos was making more contact with punches. That's just me. And I was a little upset that Kambosos lost, but I also was happy at the same time that Haney won. You know, he has all the belts, and congratulations to him. But I was really expecting for Kambosos to win.
Really? So you watched the fight and you actually thought, oh my gosh, I hope.
I mean, like,
Hurt wasn't.
you actually
Hurt
think-
wasn't. It's hurt.
because like I was watching it with one of my friends. I was watching it, and the way it looked like yes, there were times where, or most of the times, yeah, Haney was schooling Kambosos and stuff like that. But to me, it looked like Kambosos was making more contact, and he had more
Really?
speed. And towards the ending, towards like I would say like around the 9th and 10th round, it looked like Haney was slowing down a bit.
Wow.
It
I
looks
mean,
to me. It looked
I can see where he was slowing down a bit. I just still got to the end of the fight and was like, well done, Haney.
Yeah, no, I was a little disappointed, but I was like, wow, congratulations, you know, you won and everything. Not to mention in another country too, and basically Kambosos' backyard and stuff. But and that's something that's something crazy to do. Wow, I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. The comment killed me, but go ahead.
No, it's fine. I mean, I'm just saying that, like I said, like, congratulations to Haney. It was a really good fight at the end of the day, but it was just an unexpected turn. I really expected that Kambosos was going to win. I was expecting it, but I was wrong.
Disappoint you because I was really expecting Devin to show us what he showed us. And...
I pose a new question. Everybody, I think, after Kambosos beat Theo, really have putting Kambosos on this tier because I hear Kevin say I expected him. You expected him. You know what I mean? Now ask yourself. Now look back. Is he really that guy, or was Theo did Theo just have a bad night? I am a firm believer that people can have a bad night in any type of combat sports, whether it's MMA, whatever it is, because sports is mental too. It's not just all about your muscles, bro. You gotta be mentally locked. There's been times where people have outshined other people, not through physical means, but just through having a stronger mental capability and with outlanding and withstanding stuff. So ask yourself these questions, peeps. Is he really that guy? Was he really him? Was he him? Or is he really just he? I mean, not saying that I'm not taking nothing away from that to even get to that point, but was he really that guy to be the man, or was he just? Did he just play a mental trap? Just lay a mental trap in him. Same stuff Fury do to guys before fights. Fury be tap dancing in people's brains before fights, man. You know what I'm saying? So was it one of those moments?
No, yeah, that actually makes sense now that I think about it. He probably did just have a bad night because when he fought Teofimo, back when he fought Teofimo, it was like completely different. And then one thing that I noticed, I don't recall seeing it when he fought Teofimo. This fight, he was doing a lot of the Philly shell position, and I noticed that, and I was like, that's something I never really see Kambosos do as often, and I felt like that also kind of got in the way of him showing his performance like he usually does.
I don't necessarily think it was a fully shell. I think he had a low left, which is different. The reason his left was low is because he was trying to whip in hooks to the body. He was trying to. I think his game plan, which he didn't execute properly. I mean, I don't know what it was, but I imagine from what I saw that he was trying to chop the tree, so he was trying to go for body shots. So he had that low left, so he could whip in the left hook to the body and then step in with a right hook to the head. The sort of issue and the thing that sort of stopped him from executing that was the fact that every time he stepped in to do that, Devin Haney jabbed him in the face.
Get back.
That makes sense.
My notes. I'm watching the fight.
Hey, get back,
Yeah.
Oh, Jack, get back.
But I mean, for a rematch though, I don't know if
No rematch.
Because it's being talked about everywhere if there should be a rematch. I say yes and no. Yes, because who wouldn't want to see a rematch? A lot of people that see great fights go, oh damn.
AP must have left you in the box loading for too long because we was just slating this.
I mean, I kind of would like. I mean, no lie. I would like to see a rematch to see.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I would like to see it because I mean, why not? Like Devin Haney.
Because he's crap. Respectfully.
Yeah, you President going down. She said, "Fuck that."
I had to fight these lot last week. I'm back with a vengeance.
I mean, no, yeah, I would like to see a rematch, just like to see, if maybe a new type of training method that Kambosos would probably do would end up being a better way for him to win. And if he does win, then to see a third fight, it's a must if you think about it. So,
but come on, man. You wishful thinking right now. You are Macy's holiday shopping in the layaway section right now. That is, come on, man. When you wish upon a star, that's what you're doing right now. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Kevin, you came in stronger last week. You're letting yourself down, mate.
Never mind about the rematch.
You got a kind soul, Kevin.
Listen, Kevin, stick around. I'm gonna bring you back after. I'm gonna bring someone else in first. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
Cheers, Kevin.
Kevin is so sweet, man.
He's a nice guy.
We need people like Kevin in the world.
You gotta be a regular, man.
All right, we're bringing in another guy, Naeem Ghafoor. He's been a follower for a long time. Thank you, bro. How you doing?
Hi, how are you guys?
Hey,
man,
thanks.
It's good to
Did
see
I
you
butcher
guys.
your name?
Yeah, no, you got it right.
Perfect. What's your thoughts on the fight?
No, it went as expected, I just thought, if you watch Haney's fights, guy could get shutouts like that, even against tougher offensive fighters. Like, if you watched the Linares, the 9 rounds that he had, you complete shutout. My only issue with Devin was always his mentality. Like, this guy would try to trade or make it difficult for himself because it felt like he kind of had something to prove, but even though he didn't, like, you could just shut guys out with his technicality. And he matured in this fight where he just stuck to the plan, did what he needed to do, and got out there. And because it looked like it could have been a screw job in Australia because of the way it was all set up, but he did what he needed to do. He showed, Kambosos wasn't on the level that he is. And look, now he's undisputed. But unfortunately, we got that rematch in it. But if I was him, I'll just do it because it will long out your career if you don't do it, because you go to court and all that stuff because it's in the contract and everything. So it's just better get it done, beat him again, and then move on. I mean, you've got tough guys in that division, so he's got a lot to focus on.
No, that's it. I think as well, it's kind of smart that you've noticed the rematch thing. I was getting at that earlier. Like, it really frustrates me because I can't see Kambosos letting go of a rematch. As much as he got sort of beat, as much as he got taken to school, he's going to look at it as a career high payday, right? And another payday, because ultimately that's what they're looking for. So I think they should just get the rematch done as soon as possible. After that, I want to see Haney versus Loma. For me, the ideal sort of fights after that rematch, or whilst that rematch is happening, would be a Tank versus Garcia, Then we can get set up Haney versus Loma. Winner of that can fight the winner of Tank Garcia, so Tank basically, and then go on from there and just keep having sort of like a round robin.
I mean, credit to his team in it, because like this guy's got generational money now from that.
Yeah, exactly. But also, like, I don't really care. Like, him having generational money doesn't do anything for me. Watching the boxing fights does something for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get that. You know, there's an element of we don't want people to be cheated. We don't want anything like that. But at the same time, I think a big thing in boxing that stops things from happening and almost adds sort of weight to arguments that aren't even arguments is people start talking about, like, well, this guy wasn't going to take this percent of a person. It's like, well, who cares? Like, what's it to do with you? Like, and fans sort of get, it's very tribal, right? So if you support one boxer, you can't support another and in the same division and that sort of stuff. And it really sort of affects things when really and truly we should be pushing to just see the best fights. We want to see the best fight the best.
Exactly.
This weekend, Kambosos had all the belts. He's considered the best sort of within the ranking systems at least. He's fought Devin Haney, who had another belt, although he didn't have, it's a weird, the WBC really fucked up there, but when all the belts were on the line, it is the best fight, the best, and everybody wanted to see it. It's good for boxing, and this is what we should be seeing more of, and then let them all get disbanded again, everybody fights from again, unify again, and just have it going around in cycles.
Yeah, 100%.
Nice. I agree.
Go on, who would you like to see Haney fight if it's not Kambosos in a rematch?
Obviously, Lomachenko probably first, because like I think he's the toughest guy out of everyone there. But obviously, with the situation going on, like you don't want to wait for that. And so if that doesn't happen, then probably Tank. One of those two guys, probably the next. But if he wants an easy fight, take on Garcia, make money from his TikTok stuff and whatever. And then,
Go on, any other topics you want to talk about?
Tomorrow's fight.
Oh.
Who?
Donaire Inoue tomorrow.
Yeah, Inoue.
Tomorrow?
Donaire. Oh, it's not.
Yes, in a few hours.
Shut up.
10 o'clock, mate, on YouTube.
Oh, I didn't even know. I thought it was on the weekend.
Tomorrow, mate.
Oh, fuck. Hell, I'm going to add Kevin back to the stream as well, yeah?
My man said, somebody said Devin got a better resume than Tank.
Yeah.
He kind of does, though.
Yeah, now he's undisputed. He does.
Oh, wait, now he's undisputed. Okay. But you saying resume? You saying resume, though. You're talking about the people he fought, the caliber people.
I'll
right?
say.
Or you just saying overall, like titles, having this type of shit.
Actually,
like having, like,
you know what? You might be right still.
Because I grade that shit off people. Not off of, because like, how do you consider yourself elite? You fight somebody that's elite. You know what I'm saying? You beat them, and then it's like, oh, you elite. Like everybody thought Kambosos was. Why you know what I'm saying? Like, at least for me, I don't know. Maybe because I'm thinking about it, I'm like, he says Devin got a better register. I'm like, okay, who is he fought? So I'm looking at who he fought, and I'm like, is it really that much different than, that much better than Tank's opposition that he fought? I'm not saying Tank fought, straight killers all the time, but like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's debatable. I'm debating that one. Whatever you look for, because like, are we grading championships as your resume or people you fought as your resume? You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
But then there's even an argument to say, like if you look at styles of fighting, like if you overcome a style that should really negate your own, and that shows that your IQ is better. So some wins might not look as impressive on one fighter's resume as they do as another. It's very, very. It depends on your own perception of it, right, and what you think and that sort of thing. So it's up in the air, but that's why we debate it. That's why we talk it out.
The thing about Tank's resume, it doesn't show. Sorry.
No, go on.
It doesn't show his level. Like, I think he's a brilliant fighter, but if you look at his resume and where he's at in his career, he hasn't fought the guys that we want him to fight, and he hasn't fought that level of position. Like, he keeps talking about I should be in pound for pound list, but you haven't fought anyone near to say that you should be in those. But in terms of skills, yeah, he's brilliant. I mean, you watch him; he's a brilliant fighter. It's just he needs to start getting those big fights now. Like Rolly, we enjoyed the talking and whatever, but we knew he wasn't on his level. Santa Cruz, okay, that was a good win, and Pedraza was a good win as well. But he needs more better wins than that. He needs to fight elite fight at one point in his career. He's like 28 or something. So he needs to start stepping it up now.
All right, guys, everyone, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There's not enough likes on the page. There's a lot of you watching. Just support the channel. Let's move on to the last topic. Naoya Inoue fights Nonito Donaire in a rematch. The first fight was a classic. Donaire, he was an old man. That was like 2 years ago. He was an old man back then. He seemed old and washed up. He lost that fight, gave Inoue the fight of his life. No one's come that close to bothering him, let alone almost beating him. And then Donaire came back and won another world title after that. So this fight is a unification. So Donaire, he just keeps going on and on and on. That check left hook is as powerful as ever. His boxing skills is still as good as it always been, and his stamina is incredible. And one thing I always talk about Donaire is the only fighter that pays for his own year-round testing, and he's been doing that for years. So he's doing this drug-free, unlike most other fighters. Canelo. Bad cough, innit? So yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts. What do you think of Inoue versus Donaire?
I think Inoue takes it.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a good fight though.
Yeah.
I don't say that lightly, how I've been saying everything else. But yeah, I think it'll be a really good fight, but I think Inoue's just got enough in the tank.
I agree.
I think if you look at the last fight, or the first fight, which was amazing, it was a great watch. And if the fight tomorrow is half as good as that fight, I'm in for a treat, right? I think if you see, Donaire broke Inoue's orbital socket quite early. I say quite early. I think it was fifth round. So second, was it?
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. So from the second round, he's fought with a sort of broken orbital or fractured orbital socket. Like, you know, that might have had, well, that probably did have a huge factor to sort of play in the fight. I mean, we've seen Daniel Dubois took a knee with his, which is not a slight on him. I think if you feel that bad that you need to get out, it's best to go fight another day than to, you know, potentially go blind. But the fact that, you know, Inoue stayed in basically with one eye for another 10 rounds, it says a lot. And if, you know, he's going to remember that. They're both coming in with puncher's gloves, I was reading today. So they're both coming in looking for a knockout. I think it's going to be very fast, very explosive. I think Inoue's just going to edge it because Donaire's only got older, right? Whereas Inoue's probably now in his prime, or he's at least about to hit his prime in the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Donaire's had this Indian summer. He's done amazingly well. I think dropping down in weight and sort of going again has been one of the best things he could have ever done, but time doesn't wait.
No, and one more body shot.
Yeah.
I think I flinched for him. That's what I'm saying.
My pick is definitely Inoue by late knockout, maybe like a mid-late knockout. Just because I think it's going to be two combustible elements, but I think that the youth will reign supreme on this factor. And not taking out from Donaire, bro. I don't know how he be doing that shit. People be talking about. So I feel like Nonito Donaire doesn't get like talked about as much as he should have in like the mainstream. I mean, granted, it's because also he had a lighter weight class and like a way lighter weight class than the lighter weight classes. So like, you know, the lighter you get, I feel like it's more obscure to like, you know what I mean, mainstream people. But this man really is Razel Ghul. He is really the man that be in the Lazarus pits, because I don't know how that man be doing it. Like to be at his age, accomplish already what you have, then win another world title just for shits and giggles. You know what I mean? That was shits and giggles world title win, and that shit was excellent. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're still exciting. You're still like captivating. Like you're still, man. This fight is crazy, man. This fight tomorrow going to be crazy. It's going to be wild. But I got Inoue. I just feel like Inoue, man, he got like this just raw, this disturbing, just power about him. His power is just disturbing to me, and I feel like it's just going to get to him. It's going to get to Donaire in the later rounds, and yeah, man. But it's going to be a great fight, though. It's not going to be none of that, you know, because Donaire, he proved before that fight. I mean, Donaire's that man, but I was so riding high on that Inoue train. I just thought he was just immaculate. No way, nobody can break that arm, right? But he broke that shit down. I'm in that on the edge of my seats. Like, what's gonna happen? You know? So it's gonna definitely be moments like that. But I think Inoue he's gonna KO. Definitely get the KO.
Mhm.
Go on, Kevin. What do you think?
I see Inoue getting the knockout by like 5th or 6th round. Latest at least 7th, but I definitely see the knockout happening. With his speed and not like his stamina is definitely high. His speed is there, and then he's getting that power with that snap on his punch. I see him getting a KO instantly by like 5th or 6th round. I'd actually be surprised if it even gets a decision.
Wow, damn, Kevin. You changed.
Naeem, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Kevin. I don't think it goes past 6 either. It's just that in the first fight, like Harry pointed out, he had a broken orbital in the second, and even then, out of the first 6 rounds, he won like 5 of them easily. So, and you can see because of his orbital, he wasn't willing to trade as much. He was willing to box, and that's what's great about him, that he can box and he can like punch with you as well. So I feel I feel like if he doesn't obviously get a broken orbital in this second fight, he's just gonna come out and he knows that he's dropped Inoue hard with the body shot. He can just go to the body again, work on him. And when you get older, I feel like if there's a chance for your body to fail you, he's gonna go for that and he's gonna make his body fail him. So I feel like it's
Agreed.
it's gonna be a
Even
good
after
fight.
he got up from the rib shot, that body shot that he took, I couldn't believe he got up.
Yeah.
I just said nah. I rarely say no, stay down. That day, I said nah. That's not today. We're not gonna do that today. So yeah, it's gonna be a good fight. But anyways, I love him. I think he's great. His defense is amazing. He's always ready. He counters amazing. I think he's a great guy, man. And I wish Jordan was here to tell me otherwise.
So go on.
Just said I wish Jordan was here to tell me otherwise. Make some more money.
Right.
I think he might be my favorite fighter after Crawford, but with Donaire, I'm just scared he might just land one left hook and then it's all over, innit? Because that's why it's so dangerous. He literally takes one punch at the wrong time and it's all over. But I think if Inoue wins, for me, he's top 2 pound for pound. I think he's already top 3, top 4 as it is. But if he wins this one, he's top 3 pound for pound. One more belt until undisputed, and then it's between him and Usyk for the number 1. What do you guys think about that?
Say it again.
I say if he wins this one, he has to be top 2 pound for pound. If he becomes undisputed, probably number 1.
I see him in the top 5. I think with the Crawford Spence fight potentially coming up, I'm going to be really torn between Usyk and the winner of that fight as my sort of number 1, number 2. So I'd have him in my top 5. But for me, I think because again, I think that people sort of they shit on Canelo a bit. Like he lost the fight at light heavyweight. It doesn't mean that he should be out of the top 5 pound for pound. He's sort of gone from number 1, number 2 to being in the top 5.
Like 0.
Yeah, well now he is, isn't he? Like everyone's like, yeah, he's shit. It's like, yeah, you know, guys on many belts at that many different weights is shit. But no, Inoue is definitely in my top 5. He'd definitely be in my top 3 if he wins.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He'd be in my top 3 if he wins as well, man. Because I do get what you're saying. Undisputed does just, oh man, it's just different when you know what I mean, or when you know what I'm saying. It's a different feel. Hi, Jake.
Awesome.
Appreciate that.
All right, anything else you want to discuss? Because you're coming up to an hour now. I want to go to sleep.
Spence Crawford.
That's going to take too long, Harry. There's always next.
Do it for next week. We do it for next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Actually, wait. Predictions. What's the predictions? Just quick one line from each. Predictions. Harry?
What am I predicting?
Yeah, what fight?
A fight we've been talking about for the last 10 minutes.
Oh.
Maybe.
Do you know what? I think Inoue's going to win. Part of me, a major part of me thinks by knockout, but another part of me just feels that Donaire's such a veteran that he'll know how to survive. He'll know how to sort of do the rounds. So even if he gets hurt, he knows how to stay upright and stay safe. So yeah, Inoue, I'm not sure how he's going to win though.
Go on, Princess.
Honestly, I have to echo what Harry's just said. But if I had to pick, I would probably say knockout. by around 10.
Kevin?
Inoue by knockout around round 5 or 6.
Oof, damn,
Nine?
Kevin.
Inoue knockout round 6 round there.
Damn,
Yeah.
6? God damn.
You look
I
yourself.
like 6.
Put his name.
He out of there. He's out of there. Damn. I'm gonna say in a way, KO body shot. Look, I'm getting hella descriptive. Body shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That same one.
Round 8.
What round?
Round 8.
Ooh.
Round 8. I'm saying round 8. 8 is a good number, man. I'm saying 6. Damn. God damn.
I say round 8, Donaire knockout. No, I'm playing. Inoue.
Oh, I was about to say.
I got Inoue on point, so maybe like 11, 12. I reckon Donaire will last. He'll survive.
Okay, stay tuned.
All right. Any final thoughts, guys?
I'm glad I was right.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah, make sure Jordan pays you, yeah?
Yeah. I'll try. Once he pays his phone bill.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching on Apple Music, if you're listening on Apple Music, Spotify, all that good stuff, make sure you leave a review. Kevin, Naeem, thank you for joining us. Guys,
Thank
thank
you
you for
for
being
having me.
here. Yeah. Peace out, guys.
Peace.
See you.